How's it going, you guys? So today I'm gonna touch on the PvE Paladin overview, and just remember these are overviews, or basically these are just my experience with the class and what I think works as somebody who actively plays it. So we're gonna start with the tank. So this is what I would run if I wanted to tank on Paladin. Um, so like you see, he's got damage buff, he's got everything, right? So we're gonna touch on this. You remember the Duke Magnus, Provoking Wardblade, Proximate Remedy Tome. Nothing really changes with the accessories. I keep the Amber Dimensional, and then I throw in the Abyssal Grace Band. You're pushing 70 strength because you want to have as much defense as possible. Dex, just because you want to try to maintain crit. So you see here the attack speed is high, skill heal is high, mana cost efficiency is pretty good. So let's touch on the skills. So with this build, normally I would have to take something off because to do the tanking build, you want to at least have this, right? You want to at least have this because Valiant Brawl, it's only going to proc sometimes. So you want to be able to maintain the proc, right? You want to be able to throw this on, and Valiant Brawl is gonna guaranteed aggro whatever is in front of you. And that's it. That's all I use for taunting. That's it. This plus Valiant Brawl with the aggro mod. So this build also doubles as the healing setup, which is why you see some things that may look a little weird here. Like I wouldn't run this. But if I'm tanking, I would throw this in. The rest of this stuff can stay because like you double as a tank slash healer. Right? So let's see what it looks like, right? Throw some buffs on, do some damage. So you see the speed, it's really fast, does good damage, and you get 2 group buffs. You know what I'm saying? You get Devotion, which is an AoE group buff, and you also run Janus's Rage, which is an AoE group buff. Only Greatsword 1 can do this. Nobody else is gonna get this many party damage buffs, which puts the class in a pretty unique position. So you're getting about 12, 13 seconds from that. That's Devotion. This will take damage from the group and give them more damage. You throw this in and you give your group more damage. So it's strong. You see the heals, like the heals are no joke. You know, like you're off healing, but you're the tank. You could heal the group as well if you really wanted to. It's a very unique class. So that's all that's really gonna need to be said about the tanking setup. So for the healing setup, now let's go healer. Not a lot is going to change, but I am going to put on the Mordecai, and I'm also going to put on Laquirus's Coveted Tome, because the extra crit chance and all that stuff is really nice. You see the skill heal's a little higher, the attack speed is still really high. You get a little better, you get better crit. You give up some of the heavy attack. You see 58% buff duration. So now let's say you want to heal. This is basically the same setup, right? Not a lot changes. It's basically the same setup. You're gonna throw this on so it turns into a heal. You don't need the taunt anymore. And you would also take this off, put this back on, Selfless Soul, and then boom, you got yourself a healer. So see the heals, right? Very strong, and that's a great sword heal, mind you. That was a great sword heal, and it takes like that. So you see, not a lot changes. You're a little slower because this greatsword is a little slower, but it also deals more damage. So you see there the damage, definitely better. And then you know it doesn't change much from the tanking setup because like when you have a wand, you can heal, right? You just level up the skills. So you see the heals, they're all 5. Everything should be 5 by this point in the game. But my sanctuary is not 5 yet because I'm slacking. So and that's the healing setup. So we're gonna try to be quick. We're gonna go over the DPS setup. So the DPS setup, the biggest changes is that you move away from healing completely, basically. Like you keep this one because you have a wand, so you might as well, right? But you replace that with buffs, self buffs. That was a terrible hit, but you saw the damage before that was pretty damn good. Um, so you see the damage, the potential is there. The rotation doesn't change much. I always do double curse before explosion. Will breaker. This is a damage. This is a debuff, so you do more damage. You got your attack speed. Then you got enchanting time for skill damage boost and fighting spirit barrier for max damage. Um, and that's pretty much it. I think really the passives don't change a lot, but I do throw in Victor's morale because it gives me a little bit better mana regen. And then that's pretty much it. You see the health, the mana, it all changes and depends on what I'm doing, but you're gonna be upwards of like 23k when you're tanking, 17k on your DPS. You're gonna be 16 on your healer, and yeah. So that's Paladin. It's very, it's a very like hybrid type class. You can tank, you can heal, you can DPS, and it all works. Tier 2, Tier 1, trials, whatever. It's a very fun class. Thanks for watching.